Gosh. So you really gave up drinking in 98, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What went
1990.
into that?
What's that?
So why? I mean, what went into it? Did you just realize that you took it too
Well,
far? Or?
I didn't know how to, I was not a sensible drinker. I told my two daughters when I quit drinking that I said, I hope that you make the decision to not drink. And I said, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but you never know if you got that addictive personality. And, so why start it? There's no reason to start drinking and run the risk of that, ever happening. Now, I think both will have a beer or a glass of wine, but thankfully they never fell, into the same path that I had. When I drank, if you said, Brett, let's have a beer after a round of golf. Well, I would either say to myself, yeah, I'll take him up on it, which meant that I was going to drink until I couldn't drink no more. One beer for me and go home made absolutely no sense. I'd rather have a Coke or something like that. So I didn't know. When I drank until I couldn't drink no more. And that may be a 3-day or 4-day, could be a 1-day. But once I started, I wouldn't quit until I passed out or whatever.
How did you perform, even in a practice? Maybe there were some games mixed in there, hungover. Like I don't want to go hard anymore at 36 years old, because I just know it's going to be hard enough, changing some diapers and functioning in normal adult life if I do go that hard. But how were you a pro football player going as hard as you did then?
Well, I was as diligent as a player in a preparation standpoint as I was diligent as a partier. So if like in off season, if I went to sleep at 4:00, I would be up at 7:30 or 8 running or lifting or throwing. Now, could I do that now? Hell no, I couldn't. So there's a lot to be said for youth. Again, I would not recommend this to anyone, but I stayed after and watched extra film. I would do extra work after practice, throwing passes that I struggled with. I was diligent again in my preparation and study habits and workouts thankfully, because it would have been easy to sleep in and say, I'll just do it tomorrow. Thankfully, I was never one of those.
It's crazy. It just reminds me of Rob Gronkowski when I talked to him for my tight ends book. Obviously, he's a party animal, to this stratosphere that we're talking here. He admitted there was a point later in his career where he realized if I keep this pace, my body's going to break down. He felt his body starting to break down. And granted, there was a time there he knew that the partying kind of helped him, because he's also dancing his ass off, on the Gronk cruises and what have you with Waka Flocka Flame, drinking vodka waters. So he's staying hydrated. But he realized, okay, I gotta turn the notch down a little bit, and was able to continue his career. Maybe he's the best tight end ever. And I mean, we're probably not sitting here talking about your career in the terms we are 321 straight starts if you don't have that epiphany in 98, right?
Yeah, there's no question. The longevity doing what I was doing is short-lived. I played with a bunch of guys as I was partying and after I partied that I saw shorten their careers by their partying and not taking care of their bodies. And I saw guys that had a long career that did just the opposite, that took care of their bodies. Maybe they partied like I did, but stopped and was able, because You party hard, you're lucky to make it to 30 years. Which would be about 7 to 10 years in the league. Very rarely does someone do it all the way through their career in 15 or so years and have a long, successful career. Very rarely.